sometimes you are just gonna have to be okay with just closing the door and just walking away. Hola, hola, hola todos, es tu prima favorita Bobby here, and welcome to the Cousins Corner. If you are new here, if you are not new here, welcome back. I am tu prima favorita Bobby, and I just like to talk. And today I want to talk a little bit about closure, or lack thereof. Okay, sometimes you just have to be okay with just walking away, with just closing the door silently and just bowing out. I feel like a lot of times we try to convince ourselves that there's this need for closure, there's this need for some type of reconciliation, there's this need to see if we can come to some type of solution or some type of agreement or whatever the case may be in certain situations where God, the universe, your higher being, whatever it is that you believe in, is really just trying to tell you that it's time to close that door. Sometimes there are conversations that are just, we might want to have them, but they're not necessary to be had. There have been situations that I myself have personally been in where all signs point to this isn't for you. This friendship isn't for you. This relationship isn't for you. This thing that you're trying to pursue isn't necessarily for you. And sometimes we get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm ready to listen to that, right? I am ready to listen. I hear you loud and clear, universe. I hear you loud and clear, God. This is a door that needs to be closed. But before I close this door, I need one more conversation. Before I close this door, I need one more, just one more sign. I need to be told no one more time. I need to be rejected. I need to make sure that this is what you want me to do. And we end up hurting ourselves sometimes, and also we end up stunting our own growth in a sense where it's like, this door should have been closed months ago. But because I wanted to go back and try again, I wanted to just get one more response, one more thing that could really let me see, yes, it's time to close this door. I'm prolonging my own healing process. I'm prolonging my own process of moving forward. I'm prolonging my own process of finding better. And it's just really important that we get to a point where we understand sometimes some things are going to end without closure. Some things are going to end without that final conversation. Some people don't deserve that final conversation from us. We don't deserve to sit through a final conversation of somebody rejecting us or whatever the case may be for one more time. And we've convinced ourselves that we just need it wrapped up nicely in this little bow, and it feels messy to just leave it alone, to just drop it and to say nothing else. But there is beauty in an ending of a thing. I had a friend tell me that back in college when I was going through something major. It was an ending of a relationship that was really important to me, of a friendship that was really important to me, and not with this friend in particular, but she was a big part of helping me through that healing process. Her and a few other people, they were really important and really played a huge part in that part of my life where I was healing and moving forward. And she told me that there's beauty in the ending of a thing. Joy can actually be found there. And that is something that I've held so close to me. And when I think about certain situations or certain opportunities or certain connections or whatever the case may be, I always think of that quote, that there is beauty in the ending of a thing. Because how beautiful is it to know that this is something that served its purpose for me. This is something that has served its time in my life. This is something that has came and that has taught me so much about myself, or so much about other people, or so much about what it is that I want, or what I desire, or what I need, or where I'm going, or where I have been, or where I don't want to be. How beautiful is it to know that this road has come to an end, and it's time for me to make a turn. It's time for me to go a different way. It's time for me to get off of this path and onto another. How beautiful is it that I've come all the way here and now it's time for something new. There is beauty in the ending of a thing. And sometimes those things are not going to end just wrapped up nicely in a bow. Sometimes those roads that are leading us to somewhere else, they're just gonna trail off into dirt, into mud. Like, it's not gonna just be a clear-cut turn of where you need to go, but you know that this is no longer the road or the path that you need to be on. Sometimes the path is just gonna stop, and then there's just grass. And then you've got to figure out, do I walk through this grass? Do I turn this way? We don't go backwards because we don't do that. We do not do that. But just knowing that not every path is going to be a clear ending. There's not going to be a sign that says your path ends here for this journey. It's time for you to hop on the next trail. It's time for you to go to the left to hop on the next trail. It might not be wrapped up that beautifully, and that is okay, but you know that it's ended. You can see that it has ended. And I say that to say we have to take in that same mindset with certain connections or relationships or opportunities or whatever the case may be. When we come to the end of the road with those things, everything does not need a conversation. And I'm a person who is big on communication. I'm a person who has sat out in things longer because I felt the need to have that final conversation or to communicate or just to see if there was a possibility to know for sure if this ending is really supposed to be this ending, when I knew in my mind that it was supposed to be this ending and this is over, you know? And so I'm a person who really does value having those conversations and having things clear cut, but I've had to learn that not everything is going to be wrapped up nice and neatly with a bow, and that is okay. Sometimes you do just have to walk away. Sometimes you do just have to move in silence. Sometimes you do just have to withdraw your energy from a place or from a person, from a job, from a connection, from a friendship, from an opportunity, from a business partnership, from whatever the case may be, in silence, and be okay with the fact that me and this person may never reconcile. We might never speak again. That doesn't mean that I hate them. That may not mean, you know, that we're on bad terms necessarily, but some things do not need to have closure like that. Your closure is you closing that chapter. It is you closing that book. Sometimes it's gonna feel like a cliffhanger. Sometimes it might be a cliffhanger, and you and that person or that business deal might come back around, or y'all might reconnect or whatever in the future. But right now, this is where it ends. And sometimes it's just a, what does Shrek say? Drop it and leave it alone thing. I don't know where the accent came from. That was not a Shrek accent. But anyway, if you know that reference when he said, no donkey, it's drop it and leave it alone. I don't know why it keeps turning to a British accent, whatever. But I say all that to say that there's beauty in the ending of a thing, and sometimes that beauty is not gonna come with a nice bow. Sometimes it's gonna come in a charcoal colored box with scratches on it. But what is on the inside of that is gonna take you to your next journey. So I say that to say, get used to not having to have closure with everything. Sometimes things do not need another conversation. If somebody blatantly disrespects you, if someone oversteps your boundary, if someone hurts you, if something is just not right, it's just not for you anymore, it's just not serving you anymore, you get to choose whether or not you want to go through that process of trying to see if some type of reconciliation can happen. But if you know in your heart of hearts, in your deepest of hearts, that this is the end, and this is the last time that I want to feel like this. This is the last time I want to be disrespected like this. This is the last time I want to deal with whatever this case may be. Get yourself into the mode of being okay with just releasing it. Without a final conversation, without a final tug of war game, without a final letter or a heartfelt text or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying that there aren't some situations that need those things where you should be considerate and actually have conversations with people, but I'm just saying that there are things where all of that is not needed. And specifically speaking into connections with other people or relationships with other people or whatever the case may be, if they were bold enough to be inconsiderate of your feelings and withdraw their energy or pull away from that connection or whatever the case may be, then you show them even more boldness and you walk away. I didn't mean to get all raw, but no, just knowing that sometimes I don't need to say another word. I know this is over. I know where we stand. I know what this is. And I can walk away with my dignity. I can walk away even if it hurts, knowing that this is the end of that path and I'm on to a different thing, and I don't need to sit with you and talk about it. So anyways, I hope I hope that this video resonated with someone. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you have anything to add to the conversation, or even if you disagree with me, please drop your comment below. I love to chat it up with you guys, and I will catch you on the next one. This is tu prima favorita, Bobby. Thank you for joining me in the Cousins Corner, and I'll see you next time. Bye.